that police never catch you at Jamaica. I want to know where you get the gun from. If you stop it, them stay man here and lick out for the other rest of girl, they must say, they must trick straight man, but they must do the same thing too. If you stop it,
that's why I was wondering how would the topic come up with her name in it, because when she just the other day when Snow, when Snow did the same thing, everybody there talk against it and said them not do it. So I was surprised that Emily
some people
come in America do it.
Because I think I let him do it, I'm not afraid.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. You're listening to this voice of Dr. Jermaine Gordon and my co-host
Perry Ramirez.
We have come to another day of our weekly podcast. Those of you who are listening through the app, OBC Radio, on Google Play Store, we appreciate you. Whether you're listening to us through the sound of the Alexa app or in the Apple App Store. Instagram, we appreciate you. YouTube, this is OBC Radio, Second Chances for the Forgotten Voices. Our weekly podcast is titled, I Just Want to Be Free. To be free of what? Life situations and issues at hand. Today we are talking about relationships. And the reason I chose this topic, there was a live that I was looking at where issue occur, and while listening to the person on the live, they sound very articulate. And one thing with me, articulate people that speak very well catch my attention. And she caught my attention, but then it went where it seems like she could get herself in problems. And I was just giving advice and it was took wrongly. Maybe the way I expressed my words, but it didn't mean no harm from what I was saying. But I just want to give my advice to people. I don't know what it is that you guys get from... I don't know what is it that you guys get from taking up somebody from Jamaica. If it is, yes, Jamaican man have a name where they can do them work good and they're good in bed and so forth and thing. But is it, if it is that you left Jamaica, migrated, and you're here and you need a Jamaican man, why not find one here? I wouldn't advise anyone to use the hard-earned money to take anyone here or any other country, so to speak, take up a Jamaican, whether male or female, because you got to understand people are experimental and want to explore. The news is on? That's why. After the news is gone. Oh no, it's supposed to override it. People with want to explore. It is in human nature. So if you come into a new country and you see all these different race of course, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna stick. And if it is that it is so close that you're already having issues with the person from Jamaica, why even bother or try to cause yourself heartache, pain, and possibility of losing your life or taking one's life? Well, if you if you have visa, if the person have a visa and they're coming back and forth, well, that's a different thing, you know. You just know you have to put yourself there. You know that when the person is here, you and them in a thing, and when they back in Jamaica, them have somebody else because I mean, people have feelings. You waste all your money. Yep. Like Longy Lawler say, you waste all your money and you invest in all in with this person. And it hurt. It hurt and it's messed up. But we have to understand and look into ourselves. The writing is clearly on the wall. This is something that has been going on for years. As someone put it the other day, you never see a happy ending come from it. There is no happy ending in you taking your hard-earned money for take up a man from Jamaica or a woman from Jamaica and expect that that person gonna stay with you. No. They wanna explore different race and different. They wanna hustle too. They wanna look. They're not gonna come here to just stick with one. And it would be stupid of anyone to just come here and just stick with one because you want to explore. You want to you want to see what's going on. You want to make a life for yourself, and some man will just come and you don't want to come and sit down and just wait and depend on any person. And you have some man who just try to hold you back and things. So you have to put yourself in that situation and look and analyze the writing that's on the wall. There's no happy ending that comes from it. And all I was saying to what's her name? Misha. Don't get yourself in any problem. Leave that boy alone and leave that person, Emily, alone. Simple. Get on with your life. Anything you want to put to it?
Uh-oh.
What? It's still not.
Okay, so our topic's about relationships. So I have another little subtopic of that, of course. So do you think people take relationships seriously nowadays compared to back in the day?
Relationship or marriage?
Relationships that lead into marriage. Let's start with relationships first and then into marriage, because back in the day you get into a relationship and it goes into marriage and y'all stick together. Nowadays you hop from 7, 10, 20 different relationships and then you're like, okay, marriage. And then let's dissect first before we all tie it together, if you get what I'm saying.
I think it's just the example that others set and what people see and
How they're grown.
yeah. It's
I'll
just
say when it comes to back in the day, I feel like people were more taught to you find that right person, if that one doesn't work out, you put all your effort into it, it wasn't for nothing. Try that same energy and effort in a different person. If it works out, settle down, have kids, buy a house, certain things, you know what I'm saying? They get married, and certain things will happen in the relationship and they'll still be stuck together, they'll still stay together. They wouldn't call like, oh, let's separate or divorce, however you want to put it. Or they wouldn't like, oh, let's, even though you do have some people do it, a lot of people will be like, oh, I stood for the kids. Like, I stood together for the kids, worked it out because of the kids. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that's bad.
a lot of people stick, because I know quite a few people that stick it out until the child reach 18 before they're like, okay, let's go. But I mean, to put yourself through, is it worth it?
I feel like it has its downsides, but because it's a two different. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street, because on one side you have, okay, you're absent-minded out of your relationship because you're only there for your kid. What about the other party? What if the other party is like they're catching feelings now? Okay, you split away at 18. One party is like, I've been going. Like, I'm easy to get out of this. The other party is like, oh no, I don't want you to leave. Now they do like a little fight or whatever, however it may be, like a lawyer thing, or maybe it's like they're always around you, like, I miss you, I want you back. Like, that's bad for one party, you get what I'm saying?
The children see.
However, what about the people that...
We're coming right back on the live.
However, what about the people that don't care for sticking it through and are just like, let's just, what, red flag, quits. And they're always doing that. Now, what type of cycle is that? That's leading down to somebody who doesn't really want to commit or has commitment issues in the long run, because they always, one red flag, oh, I'm out.
And then when you stick it out for the kids and do it for the kids, is it setting an example on how you should allow one to treat you, if in case for kids and so forth? Under 10 seconds, the live gonna end. We're gonna come right back on Instagram. We'll continue on the radio. Yeah, but is it setting an example? Is it setting an example for
your children
to see the abuse and so forth, the life?
Because a lot of the time, if couples are splitting and sticking around for the kids, there's going to be arguments for a fact, but it may be a bit different in the sense where it's like mom or dad is always busy. Like, one of the parties always finds something to do, so now it's like that family that was always like, oh, we're doing things, and that warm, bubbly feeling, now it's like, yeah, we're doing things, but it's a bit colder, if you get what I'm saying, because one is always busy. When you do get together, it's like they try and look like it's working out and it's all good, but deep down, you can't really hide those feelings. Kids pick up on that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of parents think kids are stupid and you can hide things from kids, but kids are very smart and they're very observant. And they see and pick up from it. And is it the example you want to set for your child?
The best radio station for all your hit songs and new podcasts. And make sure you follow us on social media platforms. OBC Radio.
Okay, so is it a good example? I'll say no, it's not, because I have a great example to explain that. For example, you are out with your family. One party may be trying to do everything like to the T, like, okay, let's get this, let's make the kids happy and all this. And the other party's just there like, yeah, I'm just here, but it's snapping. You get what I'm saying? Like, any little thing like triggers he or she. And it's like, even though the other party's like, oh, it's gonna be alright, it's alright, the other party's just fed up. But they're still trying to make it look like everybody's whole. You get what I'm saying? but one of the parties slips up. There's always going to be where it's very hard to control emotions. It's very hard to act like it's not affecting us. We're not trained spies now. You know what I'm saying? We're not detectives. Yeah. We're not officers. We're not doctors. We're not any of the sort of lawyers. We're not any sort of the fields where, we got to mask emotions or anything. So it's like you're over it. You want to be free. You're staying there for the kids. You're trying to work with the person to resolve any issue because it's like, you're here for the kids. So it's not like you're absent-minded with somebody else. You get what I'm saying? If you're here for the kids, that means you're always around that person. So you got to find some way to fix the issues that you want to go from a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trapped.
What would one consider a good relationship and a bad relationship?
I feel like there's no definition for good or bad in a way, because it's like everybody's definition of what's bad is different. Everybody's definition of what's good is different. For example, you would say a person who's in a relationship where one party is always working and is very controlling of the money, making sure everything is good, you do get taken out, but the other party isn't really flexible with the money, is a beneficial thing, where it's just the father doing everything, like doing everything with the kids, putting this out, putting that out, just always like, okay, we're going to go with dad, we're going to use dad's card. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's some families that's like, they always see, like, dad is always there buying, always doing, like, that dad is always in control of everything. And there's also relationships where the mom is in control of everything. The dad is, like, the protector, just like, okay, kids, come, let's go, mommy, she got everything, let's go, this and this, like, being the father bear, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, with all of it, you would say, like, some people would be like, damn, that doesn't seem like a really, like, open relationship, because what if the other party wants to, like, go out and do their career and all that? Then when we start dissecting it and getting really into it, it's like the one that's really controlling everything and being the breadwinner is stressed, and at times they blow up. It's not all the time the breadwinner is going to be controlled and happy, because the breadwinner in these type of relationships, they stress out because even though they're getting the money to get everything, they have to see it all go out, and kids want more. The house, things go, things damage. Like they say, when you get a house and you get a car, things are unexpected. You don't know what may go wrong when you may have that extra rainy funds to do it all and fix everything. Because sometimes a house, something breaks, that's $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Or if something in your car breaks, that's like $7,000-8,000 sometimes. Sometimes you're paying bills and you don't got that money to give to the car and the house right away. You're like, damn, I'm in a crossroad. But you have to take care of everything.
And then to have a child in the midst now, that is even more stress, and not just one parent, but both parents.
You would also say people who look at religious relationships would be like, those are healthy, good relationships, because of how everything works out. But when you go deeper into it, not all of them are. And from different cultures' perspectives, we would be like, those relationships aren't open. They're a bit closed off. Certain parties don't have certain rights that people in different cultures will have. So I feel like a good relationship, there's many different terms for a good relationship as well as a bad relationship, because even if you look at something with a good eye, there's somebody who's coming in looking with it from the negative eye.
Mm-hmm. I believe relationship, how people should focus on relationships is the main, when you go into a relationship, the most important thing is working it out. Because it's just like, a relationship is just like maths. It's a problem which one have to learn how to solve. We got to compromise. We got to figure it out. We got to work it out. And I think that should be the most important thing, because every society has its says on what's a good relationship. Society has its says on what's a bad relationship. But at the end of the day, society doesn't walk in one's shoes. It's what your heart desire and your focus and what your aim is about, and you work towards it. And what you were gonna say?
I was gonna say something that I tried to tell people that I wasn't really telling people before, that I learned from being in my relationship, is how to find out how if your partner is really the one for you, which is to know if they invest in you. You get what I'm saying? Oh my God, I'm not piggybacking off of you. Something I learned. So, what I learned about if your relationship is really a good relationship, and it doesn't matter what anybody says, is if that party is investing in you and you're returning the energy in some way or matching the energy. I know a lot of people can't match the energy of investing, or what I mean by, but let me explain it. You don't want to be in a relationship to be a city boy, a city girl, a hot girl, or a hot boy, or a dolly, or however you want to put it. Because when you go in these relationships just looking for a man to spend on you, it type gets into like you're paying a house or a car, if you get what I'm saying. You start realizing like, okay, gotta take this person always shopping, they always want to get treated right, they always want gifts, they always want fine dining and all that. Yes, there's people who want that. Yes, there's relationships where you can get like that, but I'll say in my spectrum, if I would have went for that, that would be like 20% chance of coming by that person that would only just want to spend and not care. Just be like, yeah, I got you. You get what I'm saying? That would be a 20% chance.
And when you say invest,
invest would be a relationship where, okay, you checked off all your borders, looks is great, personality is great, they're not using you, great. You find out they're not using you, aka where investing is coming. They're trying to invest in you. They're like, okay, I see that you need help with this. I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you it, I'm going to give you the key for it, but I'm also going to show you the tricks and tools on how to get it, so that if you ever need help again, you had most of it, or you achieved it, but you just need a little edit or something fixed real quick. You get what I'm saying? Deeper explanation. Now, y'all both live together. Y'all in your relationship, you're not using each other. You know you could trust and all this, A through Z, however you want to put it. Now you want to move somewhere else. Now, is it going to be where, okay, you're going to move by yourself in your apartment, I'm going to move by myself in my apartment because we independent parties? Not so really, because then it's like, okay, you could be two independent parties. Yeah. You could prove to each other, like, yeah, you can be stable. But in the end, it's better to do teamwork. It's better to come together. So now you invest in together by having an apartment. Now this secures your relationship because it's like you're already there. You're already on good terms. Now, okay, you have to get... It's not marriage, but it's a financial marriage. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, you live here, I live here. I can't just run out the place and go somewhere else to sleep. You can't either. So it's like, most of the time, we got to be on common ground. So it's like, okay, ways to tolerate the person and know how to understand your relationship better, because now you have to live under the same roof, but at the same time, it's not like before where it's like, oh, I got my own place, you know, even though I stay here, there's other places that I know, Now it's where when you put your money into something, okay, I can't back out. And when you trust the other person and they're putting their money into something, you're going to be like, okay, this is my ride or die a little bit, if you get what I'm saying. Because now it's like, okay, they're doing what I'm doing. So if you're doing what I'm doing, I can basically trust you. So it goes into where if you really... Yes, people could be investing in you and you may not be able to match it, but you can do things every now and then where you see the person needs something and help them. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, they helped you invest in a car, or they helped you invest in something that they needed, but you didn't really put a lot forward to it. So you're like, oh, no, I don't really want to owe them. Yes, you can pay them back. There's nothing wrong with that. However, there's some people that will be like, okay, I see you're looking at this and you need this to invest in. And I see that your like goals are like this, like you want to start your own nail boutique or something, baby, right? I'm going to help you and start it. You may not be putting back the money that they invested in the home for y'all together, you know what I'm saying? But you're like, hey, let me help you in this way. And it helps both of us. Like, the house helps both of us, but I don't want to make it feel like you're always doing everything for me. let me go out and help you so you can have your boutique or whatever, so that you can be accomplished.
You know what? A lot of us go into relationships by going to relationship with the thinking of what you can get, what is it the person have to offer. When especially females and men who have effeminate ways, they think that when they go in relationship, okay, what you have to offer. But that's why the relationship is never last. Always go with the intention of what you have on the table. It can't just be about what's beneath your leg.
That's true too.
It can't just be about what beneath your leg. So you have to also have a potential and a reason for a man to want to stay with you. And it can't be. You would be very naive to think it's just about sex. Because if it's just about sex, the man wouldn't cheat.
He wouldn't have a mistress. Oh yeah. OBC radio.
What is it that you bring to the table that what you should enter in a relationship? Look, not just looking at what the man have to offer. Apart from what's beneath your leg, what is it that you have to offer in the relationship?
I feel like, no man really wants somebody to be like a man, if you get what I'm saying. I really don't want somebody to be competing them, like, money-wise. Like, yeah, they want you to help or whatever. They don't want you to be, like, really such a compete. But the help is always wonderful.
Oh, no, I love it's not compete.
Not here. I mean, some relationships. There's some straight relationships.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't look at... if you're in a relationship, and it's not just... It's both of you become one. If 4 hands are working, it's better than 2.
4 or 5. Multitasking is not that great. 4 is better than 2. Partners, teams.
If we're all bringing something to the table, then that's when you have a ground and a foundation, because you're setting a foundation where, okay, both of us put in here, we're both investing, we're both doing this. But we think a lot of us are too self-centered when it comes to relationship, and you can't be a self-centered person and expect your relationship should last. That's just fact.
You can't be superficial either.
I mean, you can, but you'd have to go and get one of the dolly, and not one of the dollies that can dance. One of those dollies that they're made in China.
Oh my God, the blow up?
No, not the blow up. Those human-looking dollies, like the fake dolly. I can't even say human-looking dolly.
The android.
So much.
Yeah, human robots are called androids.
There are so much dollies now. Carrie's a dolly.
Oh my God, they're gonna make those so realistic too.
Who?
Them robots. This is gonna be a different topic, y'all. I'm gonna see it though, cause 2070.
We have come to the second half.
He's 69.
The first half.
Remember those songs that got your feet tapping when you were younger? Oh, yeah. You're the Morning Station with another hour of back-to-back music from across the Midlands. This is OBC Radio.
Well, we have come to the first half of our live podcast. I just want to be free. To be free of what? Speak your mind. Issues of what happened in around your area.
You don't want to know.
No. Oh no, we want to hear. We want to hear.
I was like, to be free of the sins, to be a pure child of God. Because I'm too ghetto.
Yeah, well, what? This is the platform.
I'm too
Whatever
ghetto
you
now.
want to be free of, and we're discussing about relationships, and of course, we have our sponsor segment, Olankwan Fashion Boutique, where you can get all your male, kids, and female apparels. You can visit them at the website at www.olanquan.com or give a call at 1-800-944-2166. Also, you can check out Motivational Sense on Instagram. They promote a positive aromas that leads to your whenever your heart desire. You can follow them on Instagram, Motivational Sense, on TikTok, and motivationalsense.com. Something getting out of it?
I don't know. I don't know. They supposed they in their area a lot.
Continue, let me check.
So, anyways, relationships are great and all, but it also takes a lot of like tolerance. It takes a lot of communication. It takes a lot of like just trusting your partner and also trusting your gut in a lot of ways and just matching it up to see if you're right. Yo, princess. Just about that. Like, just make sure you're not getting played. That's what I tell people. Like, just make sure like you're investing and like you're investing time and effort is being matched and benefiting both of you in some way, or if it's not really benefiting you in both ways, it's like you're growing each other. You get what I'm saying? Where, cause you got a lot of these young relationships with these young couples, or some old ones too. Can never judge. Gotta include everybody. You got some of these people where it's like, okay, I see that you're interested in school, and like the other party is just, whatever you can help out is great. And you're like, since you're helping me out with school, whatever you need fixed, whatever you need done or whatever, I can help you. Like, you need some help with your work, I got you. You need me to cook, whatever, got you. Like, you need me to plan events to go out. It's on me, since you're helping me with school, I'm paying for our outings or whatever. There's different ways you can contribute in a relationship where it's like, your time is basically matching that investment. Or it can be like we were explaining earlier where you're investing in each other, where you're growing both parties at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, you could be doing stocks. Y'all both like doing stocks. And it's like, y'all both do it together where it's like y'all investing the same things. Y'all do certain things together, and it's like you're doing it at the same time, so it's like you're growing each other and making mad money at the same time. So there's doing things as a team and then doing things to like benefit each other, but in different ways. Yeah. For toxic relationships, I'll just say for those, just find your way out of it. You can always confide in people to like know if your relationship is ready to be advanced or not. You always have that best friend you talk to. Some people got